Now, finally, it's time for our last and the final panel of the evening. Our final panel is Pioneering Retail Success and Balancing Heritage with Innovation. Focuses on how retailers can maintain their legacy while embracing modernity. Moderated by Mr. Ravindra Khandelwal as our Honorable CEO of Dhanvantari Pharmacy. Let's welcome our respected panelist to join us for our last panel discussion of the day. Please welcome, with a huge round of applause, Ajra Ashar Athar, Sales Director, Aminia Restaurant. Can we have some applause, please? Executive Director, Arambagh Food Mart Private Limited, Biash Roy. CEO, Legacy of Bhojraj Private Limited, Chetan Tatwani. Managing Director, Opulent Decor by Haryana Handlooms, Mr. Gaurav Chawla. Director, Bhajanlal Commercials Private Limited, Mr. Mohan Bajoria. Business Head, Mohendra Dotto and Sons, and also founder of Bengal Business Council. Please welcome Shubhashish Dotto. Managing Director, Mitro Cafe, Sri Taposh Roy. I'm pretty sure that the last panel of the day is going to be really thrilling for all of us.
Okay, let's all settle down. Take your seats for the last panel discussion. I understand that we are all in the middle of the audience and their dinner and fellowship, so I will try to sum this up as soon as possible, and I'll request my panelists to please cooperate as well. Of course, good evening. We are going to discuss on the pioneering retail success, balancing heritage and innovation. I'm Ravindra Khandelwal, your moderator for this session. The retail brands of Kolkata have always been more than businesses. They are institutions that represent stories, values, and connections that span generations. Whether it's a legendary sweet shops, iconic sari shops, or even new age retailers rooted in city's ethos, every brand over here carries a legacy. Yet today's retail landscape demands more than tradition. It calls for innovation, adaptability, and a keen understanding of evolving customer expectations. The question we are exploring today is one of balance. How can retail brands preserve their rich heritage while staying relevant in a rapidly modernizing environment? Let's see what our panelists have to say. I'll start with them. So basically, I'll be breaking up the entire discussion in three parts. So we'll be learning about the success stories. We'll be then going on to how you're embracing change. And the third part will be all about what our future plans could be for the sustainability as well. So my first question goes out to Shubhashish Da. I think you're the most popular one over here. So we'll start with you. See, resilience and adaptability are critical for your businesses, especially when it comes to the almost 150 years legacy that Mohendra Dutt & Sons carries. Your personal vision led to the launch of Bengal Business Council as well. Can you give us some examples of challenges you faced and how you overcame them with innovative modernism?
Yeah, so the first thing, I wouldn't want to start with challenges, but then again, there are a lot of challenges that especially family business sort of a setup faces. Fifth generation, there's a lot of expectation, first of all. So any innovation you bring in, there are questions about your credibility. And then, of course, you have to have some small successes, and then you prove your point, and then you are through. So similar things happened. For our retail, I remember when I was in SP Gen, we used to do this thing called business experiments. So I had retail as my major, and so with this experiment that So my father was very skeptical. We had a lot of these properties on MG Road, and there was one property we didn't know what to do with. That was the oldest shop where our founder once sat. I said, we'll make it into a seconds counter. So there was a lot of like, how can you make the founder's shop your seconds counter? So I said, what else do? We can't make it into something else. So we started off. He was not very happy, and then we did this experiment. And just beside that, there is this a proper, the fresh counter basically. And so we did this, and we saw there's this market segmentation which was totally clearly different. So the ones going into that 60% off counter were very different from the mentality that this fresh counter had. So these are the small things which changed mindsets. There was this another incident where I launched this pink range of umbrellas. So I thought that, in college I was like, I think pink is the favorite color for girls, so let me launch a pink range of umbrellas. And it failed badly. So it failed so badly that, I still have stocks of it. So this is like 10 years back. But then, so these are these learning experience that you go through. These challenges are there, and then you face it. And then we launched Calcutta theme umbrella, and that's a super hit now. So we then started off with a Shotyajit Ray umbrella. So with time, you need to change the way you present your product, and it cannot be the same. Of course, there's some classics which you can't get rid of, and you should maintain them. The Dadu Chhata is still popular, and it's still very, very sturdy and very strong. But again, the new things need to come in. Of course, the nostalgia is there with heritage, but innovation has to be there for sustainability.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Can you have a huge round of applause for Subhashis Da? My next question goes out to Biash ma'am. So we have Arambag's Food Mart convenience store is, I think, completing its silver jubilee now. Obviously, the legendary Arambag brand was already there for decades and decades. But I think the convenience store is now hitting its silver jubilee. My question goes to you, as in, can you share how you're blending tradition with innovation at the same time? And it can be in products or in customer handling or in whatever case. If you can please share some light on that.
Every city and every region has some age-old brands which become a part and parcel of the heritage of that place. And when we think of those brands, we feel a kind of a nostalgia, kind of an emotional connection, and which links us to the good memories of our childhood. And that creates some sort of a relationship with a brand. And that creates immense value for our brands. That is the core of what a brand stands for. So that is what we say, puji mooldhon, jetake niye amra ব্যবসা kori, right? That is our capital. But as we all know, capital is not directly convertible to sales. We need to innovate in terms of everything to stay relevant, to grow, right? But what we have to keep in mind is that it is very important to have those innovations in connection with, in lines of what the brand stands for. It cannot be very drastically different because that creates a confusion in the minds of people. So our brand, it stands for trust. It stands for a personal connection that was created by the amazing quality that Arambag's chicken was. And it's funny that Arambag's Food Mart now has 86 stores, but still, as you said, when I talk to a new person, he says, Arambag's, right, that is Arambag's chicken. I used to wait for those Sundays, যখন বাবা বাড়িতে Arambag's chicken নিয়ে আসবে, বাড়িতে Arambag's chicken রান্না হবে. So we understand that Arambag's Food Mart will always be perceived by what Arambag's chicken used to be. And that is our asset. We should build on it. So we know that we will be a traditional and a homely brand. We should not try to become a very jazzy and hip and happening brand. And we will innovate in lines of this homeliness, that is a personal connection with our customers, and this trust factor, that is the quality of the grocery that we sell to our customers. So our innovation lies in this grocery, that is our private label, that is our own product, and that is absolutely chemical and pesticide free. We tell our customers, চোখ বন্ধ করে আপনার বাড়ির বাচ্চাকে খাওয়ান, এর ভিতরে কোনো কেমিক্যাল নেই। And this personal connection also, we have a lot of old employees as well as old customers. So we sort of, যখন একজন কাস্টমার আসে, স্যার বসুন জল খাবেন, একটু গল্প করে যান, চা খান, কিছু কিনতে হবে না। Old customers actually like that. Then people, when we deliver to their homes, sometimes our staff actually arrange those grocery in their kitchen because the old customer, they cannot carry that thing into the kitchen. So we innovate in those lines. We do not innovate too much. We try to stick to the basics and try to do best what the basics, these traditional things are for.
I think that's a wonderful approach to actually stick to the brand of Arambagh and making sure that you're giving your customers the human touch. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for Bias ma'am over here. I will now direct my question to Tapos-da. I feel there is hardly anyone here. I think 99% of the hall would have interacted with Mitra Cafe once or at least like 0.5 times around their entire lives. So I will totally appreciate that you are here with us. Thank you so much. My question to you is, how does your brand stick to its roots? How can it stay true to your roots and its legacy while evolving to meet the modern consumer demands?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can I hear? We consider the only thing that is permanent in this business world is change. Now, being a 100-year-old heritage brand, we have realized this from the very beginning. But the question was, how do you adapt this change while keeping your heritage alive? In the initial days, I would say this was a big challenge to us, as it was for all the other businesses. Take, for example, the banking sector. I remember those days when I used to visit a bank branch with my grandmother for everything, be it an issue of checks or fixed deposit. We always have to visit bank. A lot of time and effort were wasted. And you always get this question, aaj hobe na, kalke asun. But recently, I don't recall when the last time I visited any branch, because entire branch is now in our phone. Same goes for the sports industry also. Whether it's football or cricket, they have also changed a lot. Take, for example, the IPL. It is introducing a new rule almost every year. And it's very hard to keep up with it. Who could have thought something like a super over could ever be done in cricket? But they are doing it and we love it. Coming back to our business, I would say that although we prepare the food as we used to, 100 years recipe as we used to follow, but the process and the ordering, the delivery system, the payment system has gone a phenomenal change. Now we can serve a customer who is sitting at probably in Chennai or in Bangalore, thanks to our online delivery the online delivery partners that we have. And we can also collect real-time data on that. The feedback is very important for our business. And previously, that what used to happen, that we used to get the feedback very late. Now the advancement of this technology, we are able to really get the feedback in real time. Now the part where was the heritage part, the main purpose was that we now have blended the heritage with the modern technology, keeping our roots alive. And to do that, we have accepted many changes, and we are still doing it every year, every time. And that is how we are surviving. And those who have done it, those businesses who have followed it, would survive, and those who have not will be forgotten in pages of history.
I think that's a very wonderful example of how you have made sure to give even the people beyond boundaries. Now he's serving to Bangalore as well. So all the techies who have left Calcutta and gone to Bangalore, even they can enjoy the pure Bengali flavor, thanks to Mitra Cafe. Huge round of applause for Tapos-da, please. I will now direct my question to Gaurav Chawla. You come from the promising land of Odisha, where in my last 5 visits, I have gone every year once, and I've seen development happen each year. And it is so apparent and so clear. I would like to ask you, how do you maintain a strong connection with your customers as your business, Opulent Decor by Haryana Handlooms, keeps growing? Can you please shed some light on that?
This is Gaurav Chawla representing Opulent Decor by Haryana Handlooms. We are basically into furnishing retail for the last 55 years, and I'm into second generation furnishing retail. I've quite often seen father coming with the daughter, and the father used to purchase from us, and now the daughter also continuing. Of course, as everyone said, use of technology, setting up of SOPs, that is definitely a need of the hour. Apart from that, I also give maybe a couple of hours a week when I call back to the customers for the feedback. There are cyclic customers which maybe a couple of times you introduce to your manager and they take care. But there are some episodic customers which comes once and unko abhi bhi owner se hi pehle baat karna hai, because we are also into furnishing is more of a service now. Everyone has the catalogs. It's a multi-brand outlet where the pricing is driven by the customer. It's a price-sensitive market, and everyone needs a personal touch. And कई बार ऐसा होता है होटल की ओपनिंग है, maybe a hospital की bigger corporate की ओपनिंग है, 3 days में delivery चाहिए. So that case definitely we'll get a call. And जो episodic customer होते हैं वो आज भी उनको होता है कि एक बार मैंने call करना है, so that pricing I don't think I can help anything on it. उसमें कुछ नहीं कर सकेगा. I'm still in a fix how to fix that. Having said that, I think technology plays a major role, and when you scale up, we also added distribution to our bucket. So giving time to individual customer is actually difficult. So this is how we do.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think your point about actually interacting with your customers, even on a daily basis, as the owner or as the person who's taking decisions, I think that's a wonderful thing. That's something that we should all learn and actually interact with our direct customers. That gives us a lot of learning edge. A huge round of applause for Mr. Gaurav Chawla, sir. So now I'll be addressing my question to Azra ji. You're coming from Aminia, a huge legacy there as well. Can I ask you, how do you balance Aminia's core values with the need for innovation to stay competitive?
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Azra Sharathar, representing Aminia Restaurants. So I think innovation is something which takes us ahead of the time and growth. It's very important for growth, while maintaining the legacy and the heritage. I feel that's what you said. So coming from almost 100-year-old brand, how is it possible for us to match up to the new technology? It's very important for us to maintain our base, that is our 100-year-old recipes, the spices that we serve since we are a restaurant, and the SOPs that have been made by our great grandfathers. That has to be preserved. So humanly, it's every year or every 5 year hands change, and it might change. So we have decided in our next generation, this 4th generation which I'm representing, we have switched to our advanced technology. Like I was discussing before the panel with him, that we have an ongoing pilot project with the Cloud Chef company, which is right now in US. So we have given our SOPs and family recipes, which is now processing through machines and delivering the same taste to which we tasted 90 years ago. Yeah, so that helps us maintaining our legacy brands, recipes, letting people know like it's the same, nothing has changed with us.
That's wonderful. I think now we have come to an age where we can actually see AI coming to biryani. I think there's nothing better than that.
Correct,
so
right.
I think we are also going across boundaries now.
Yes, so we have opened in Dubai, opening in Dubai this month. So whenever you are there, please do visit us and let us know how it goes. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Huge round of applause to Miss Azra coming from Aminia Restaurants. I think I've saved the best for the last. I think I'll now interact with Chetan. You are a person who is also a very dynamic person, a person who is also coming from a huge legacy, something called a legacy. You have legacy in your name, that's legacy of Bhojraj. So that is something that we are all looking forward to hearing from you. Can you please tell us can you throw some light on strategies for balancing long-standing values with forward thinking?
Well, thank you so much for this question, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And as the name suggests, legacy of Bhojraj. It's all about carrying out the legacy of my grandfather, Mr. Bhojraj himself. He started the brand in 1954. And if we talk about values, the primary thing that comes across is how we work with the society. And working with the society, what really happens over here is that, see, we are working with the weavers, the community. The narrative of our brand is that we are working with hand-woven sarees. It's a handcrafted, handloom product, which technically is like an art. It's like a painting. And one saree, for example, takes around 30 to 40, 45 days to be produced. So when we talk about values, when we talk about this kind of a curation, it has to be very much like a two-way traffic. So I just was talking some time back only. So we are working with certain weavers who say now 17th generation is producing sarees.
Wow.
And I am the third generation selling these products. So what really happens over here is that when you talk about this narrative about the brand, how you are taking this across. So in 2020, when we were sitting in COVID, so all of us were actually at a brink. And everyone, I understand, was into the brink of having a digital transformation. This digital transformation, put the food people into, say, getting onto the Swiggy platform, etc. And at that given point of time, it was majorly the food people that we were seeing. All these Swiggy people were just swarming across the city, and you could see them that yeah, food. हम लोग यहाँ पे बैठे हुए, we are sitting and we are thinking, how can we do something about ourselves? Even we have mouths to feed, families to feed, right? So and it's not only about your own family. It's about those people with those who are connected. We never wanted them. We never wanted to lose them. So, by losing them, we always mean that it was all about, just not we, them, their family members also. So, when something like this, is as an emotion with you, what really happens is that, you're always running in your mind. So, yeah, when we started our brand, when I started my store technically, so that was in 2018. So, the domain name registration, etc., Facebook page, sab kuch. We were there with 85 followers at that given point of time. And in 2020, we were like just standing at the brink and we were just pushed. And from there, by God's grace, we have come across to 85,000 followers on Facebook. We're doing a lot of social selling. And when we talk about digital transformation, so you can just type our WhatsApp number, and from there you can buy a product and it can get delivered to your doorstep. You don't have to go to a website. It's a website like experience that you get on WhatsApp. So definitely, that's how you keep the values in part, the weaving, the community, and going across with the community. So if you go, say for example, if you want anything which is in handloom, in sarees, across India, you can just come under one roof, and that is legacy of Bhojraj.
That's wonderful. I think the experience could be digitized, but the brand still remains a legacy. That's a wonderful thing, a wonderful addition. Please, round of applause for Chetan. I will now open the floor to two questions that I will ask any one of you, or any two of you who can pick up the mic and answer. It's a very generic question. I think a lot can be learned from each one of you. What's the one strategy or mindset you believe is essential for long-term growth in retail? And if you could bring an angle of sustainability into that, would be great. If anyone of you could answer.
See, sustainability has to be something which is not your future, which is your today. So if you want to take sustainability into your brand, so I would just give a very small example. So when we started, and we started with, say, selling online, and we were delivering these classical weaving masterpieces across India, when we started doing some, ads in Australia, we got a tremendous response, and the complete Bengali community, because we are very much from southern part of Calcutta, so majorly all the Bengalis are our maximum clients, but then we got love from all across India also. And so these courier bags, when we started, so it was, and we are again proud to say that, I would not again, boast about myself, but what really happened is that before these brands like Flipkart, Amazon, and these people were, pushing to use a eco sack bag, etc., a brown bag, we were already doing it in these packages. We were already doing it. So the local guy, I stay in Park Street only over here beside post office. So post office mein niche you will see these people are there. So our packaging, we used to do hand stamping, we used to package it, and then we used to send it across. So this eco packaging was always amongst us all the time, but we never thought of when we transformed, we wanted to do something which was always better, looked better, but you always have to think that you have to always stay to your base. So sustainability is the key, and I think everyone should go ahead with that.
I think a brand like all the legacy brands that are mentioned sitting over here, none of these can actually exist for decades and decades without sustainability. I mean, the world may be discussing sustainability tomorrow or today. We have been doing it. Calcutta brands have been doing it for a very, very long time. I think that's something we have to be very proud about as Calcuttans. The next question that I bring to everyone else, I would like to ask anyone who wants to answer. Any advice that you would want to give to retailers who are struggling to maintain authenticity while still adapting to the local trends? Any advice from any one of you or any two of you?
I think it's very important to keep your customer engaged and to hold on to your customers. I feel like maintaining customer feedbacks, giving regular calls to customers, like using AI again, sending reminders on their birthday anniversaries, being always in touch with the customers. I think customers are very important to every brand, that they stay loyal, how to make them loyal to you. Yeah, I feel this is one of the key points.
That's a wonderful response. I think anyone else would like to answer over here? So I feel, yes, of course.
I think we and the entire audience are pretty hungry now. So we end this, yeah.
We can even feel the thumping of Roxy beneath. So I will actually not hold out. I will not hold on anymore. I absolutely appreciate, and I'm thankful, and I express my gratitude to each one of you who has stuck around. I think some bellies are empty, and the mics would not be making sound of our stomachs grumbling. So I think we should go ahead. I think every one of us has today understood the fact that resilience, adaptability, and staying sustainable, and having the customer focus, that is one thing that has come out. The one thing that has come out of this panel discussion is the customer focus. The strong customer focus and customer centricity can make any brand sustain for decades after decades, only if we as retailers take the initiative of making sure to serve the customer's demands and not be too rigid on not changing over time. I think that's something we can take away from today's panel discussion. Thank you everyone on the panel. Thank you everyone in the audience. Thank you so much.